Okay, guys, welcome back. This is part two, how to create registration and login form in PHP. This is part two. This is where we left. Okay, this is the one we're working on. This is where we left. This is the one we are going now. We are going to create. Let me show you. Give you a hint quickly. By clicking the sign up button. Let me sign up 1 second. If you are new, I want you to watch part one to understand that. Let me sign in. Okay, and my last name, let's just put coding, and this is my email address, password, and mobile phone number should be 10. It should be 10 digit. If I put 9 or 8 and click sign up, this is say mobile number must be 10 digit. Okay, now I have to start over and put your first name, last name, email address, put your password, and mobile number. Let me say okay, and click on the sign up button. Now you say click here. Okay, and by clicking here, and this will direct you to the index.php, and when you click on the sign in button, you got this form. You put your email address and put your password. Okay, and you click sign in. Okay, now hello Jimdel. Okay, this is the content is the footer, and okay, now I don't need this, and also you can log out by clicking on the hello Jimmy on the avatar, and once you click on this and you see the logout button, and you click on the logout, and then this will bring you back to index.php. I don't need this anymore, and this is where we left. Okay, guys, this is where we left. This is the one that we're working on. Now let's go back to our code. Okay, now we are going to create the sign in. This is the sign in button, but this is the index.php. This is where we name it for in index.php. The first URL, sorry, the first, yeah, we pass, yeah, this is the first li. We said this is the user underscore login.php. This is it. And the second one, I call it user underscore registration.php. Now let's create user login underscore login.php. You go here, and then you make a right click, you say new file, you call it user underscore login.php, and then you click enter. Now one thing we can do, okay, there we go, and this is the title. Call it register login if you want anything. One thing we can do, we can go to make it quicker, go to index.php, and you copy. You can copy few things here if you want, but the one that I want is this link. Let's copy this link. Okay, copy and go back to user login .php and put it, add it on the title, under the title link. Okay, something is missing, the closing. Okay, also I want you to do, go back to index again .php, and I want you to copy some from here. Okay, I want you to copy from the first div after body. Let's see, after the body. Okay, I want you to copy this line of code and go back to user login and go to inside of the body section and paste it. Okay, now you paste it, and now we have to remove few things that we don't need. Okay, we are going to keep this. We are going to keep this one. Also, we don't need this. We don't need this. Okay. This is okay. We don't need this. We don't need this line of code. Also, okay. This for this. This for this. This for this. Okay. Now, let inside of navbar header, inside of this div, let add an anchor tag, and let's call it index.php. And also after that, let's create a class called navbar. Let's call it navbar brand. Okay. We can pass a style inside of it right away. If you want, you can leave it after. We can go back. We can go back after. Okay. Now we can go back to our web browser. Let me expand this. We can go back to our web browser and refresh the page and try to click on the sign in button. See, not now. As you can see, we got this is user underscore login.php. Okay, let's stay right here. Go back to our code, and the next thing we want to add is inside of the anchor tag. We should add the title we call, because remember we call it register hyphen login. Okay, and save everything and go back, refresh the page. Okay, this is it right here, as you can see. Now go back to our code again, and we can pass a style right now to fix this. We did that in index.php. If you go back, I remember this is the style. You can copy this from style. You can copy this. Okay, you can copy this. Copy and go back to user login and paste it after when. And you paste it here. Okay, and you save everything and go back and refresh the page to see what happened. Okay, now. Okay, here's our register login, the title or the logo if you want. Now go back again. Okay, now I want you to add okay, now inside this is the body. Next thing. Okay, let's go back, guys. With our container, let's create a div, and inside of the first one, okay, more space. Inside of this first one, let's create a class called our container fluid. Okay, our container fluid. Let's stay. Okay, now we can pass a style one. Okay, and create a padding left. Create a padding left 500 pixel. Okay, and save everything and refresh the page. Alright, go back to our code. Now let's create a div here. Inside of this div, let pass a class, call it row. Okay, this is for the first row. Okay, let's stay here. Inside of this div also, let's create another div. This one we're gonna keep it in. Let's keep it in one line. Okay, but for this one, guys, now let's pass a class. On the first one for the colon. The way let's create the space to add the sign-in title and the email and so on, everything. Now this is a column and dash or -2. Okay, and next create another div here also inside of the first one here. Let's pass a class. Let's call it, this is for the column MD4. This is we say that this is the long, this is the length and the width of the space to when you type in your password, everything, your first name, last name, and so on. This is for we add 4. Okay, now also let's create another div. Okay, let's create another div, and inside of the first one, let's add a class. Let's call it panel. Okay, this is the panel for the heading. Okay, now from here, from this div, no, I want to call it not yet panel, yeah, space. That's it, space. Yeah, let's call it panel primary. Panel, yeah, panel primary, and inside of this div, let's create another div also. From here, okay, follow me guys, from here inside of this div, let's add a class, call it now we can add a panel heading. Okay, a panel heading. Now and then next, inside of, in the middle, from the middle here, we can add the title, sign. This is the sign-in form. Okay, we can from here we can save everything and go to our browser, refresh the page. Okay, nothing yet. Okay, all right, let's continue guys. Now inside, after this div, inside of this div, okay, let's go down a little bit. Let's create another div, and inside of the first one, okay, this first one, let's add a class, call it panel. It's a panel body. Okay, this is the panel body. Now, okay, now you can go bring this down. Inside of this div also, this one, let's create our form. This is a form where the action, where you're going to, when you click the button, the action, something will happen behind the scene. Okay, now let's create our form. Let's create our form action. We can leave the action nothing to happen, but for our method, the method should be post. When you post, if we click, the method should be post. Okay, we click on post. That's okay. Now we need a little bit of space. Let's create if the first div inside of the form, our first div, but inside of the first one, let's pass a class. Let's pass a class. Let's call it row. This is our first row. Okay, and then if we need our first row, we need our first column. This row we'll use for all the column that we will create. Okay, now, and let's create another div for the column div. Okay, and inside of the first one here, we add a class. Okay, this is the column MD12, that the length. Okay, the space where to type everything, that the length should be 12. And inside of this div, let's create our label. Let's create our label. Okay guys, let's create our label for email. Okay, and from here we write email, and you can save everything and go back to our browser and refresh the page. Now you can, as you can see, there is something's coming up. Okay, now go back to our code again. Go back to our code, and now let's create our input. Okay, now let's create our input. For our input, guys, our input should be next after the label. Now we have the label. This is the label. Our input should create next after the label. Now let's say input. Okay, now our first input type text. For email, you say input type text, email type text. Let's create we need an ID for email. Okay, and we need a name. This is the name that we'll be using to pass all our elements. That, let's say name equal email, and let's create a class to give our input a form, create a form control for that. Let's say create a class, and let's call it form control. Okay, now this for this. Okay, for, let's say, okay, now div, let's go down, and we can create let's create a div also. Okay, let's create a div, and the first one, this one, let's pass a class. Let's name this one. Okay, let's name this one call md12. The same for this one. Remember, the same for this one. What we can do, we can copy and paste. Copy this line of code instead of coding. Okay, we can cut this line and copy this. Okay, copy this and go under this and paste it. Now we can change everything inside of it. Instead of email address, let's put password. Let's put password, and instead of email here, let's put password, and keep it simple. For input text, input type, it can be text because it's password. It should be password. Okay, and for the ID, we put password, and for the name, we put password, and you keep the class for form control. Okay, now that's for, let's create a break. Now we need a break. We can add a break. Let's say we said this is how we create a break. BR stand for break. Okay, and you can save everything and go back to our browser and then refresh it. Now, as you can see, something's coming up. Email, password. Let's go back to our code. Okay, now, okay, we're gonna start from here, from row. Okay, we need another row to add everything. That if someone is not a member yet or already a member and so on. Now, after the break, let's create a div. Let's create a div, and inside of the first one, okay, let's pass a class called row, and inside of this one, it's like the same process, guy. Call it div, okay, and the first one, a class also again. This is called md12. Now, inside of this div, okay, now we need let's create the input. Okay, let's say input. Now, for the button, you need input type button. can be text. Okay, and let's pass a class inside of it. For the button, for the class, we need btn let's say primary, and we need a value for that. Okay, the value should be sign in. Okay, we need an ID for the ID should be okay. The ID, let put, yeah, this is login, and we need a name. Okay, name. Let's leave name empty for now. Okay, but before that, let's pass a span so that you can. Okay, let's leave it simple like that. Okay, and then refresh, save everything, and go back to our browser and refresh the page. Okay, now we don't do anything yet with our CSS page. Let's build up everything first. All right, let's finish everything first. Okay, guys. Now, what we can do, and next, inside of the same div, let's go on there and let's continue. Let's create a P paraphrase, and inside of the first one, we need space. Let's create a style for, we say the style margin top should be 10 pixel. The text align, yeah, you want the text to align. You say text align should be center, text align center, or text should be inside of no, not outside. Let's cut this and put inside after margin because start. Okay, good. Now here let's put not remember yet, question mark. Okay, and we need after that we need an anchor tag. We need an anchor tag for that. We add the anchor tag, and then we now let call the other page. That's user underscore registration.php. Let add it. We said user underscore registration.php. We do not create this one yet. Okay, now save everything, go back to our browser and refresh the page. Okay, not remember yet, and not remember yet, we should say something after that. Okay, not remember yet, and we should this is the link. Now we put sign up button, sign up, and now refresh, save everything, go back and refresh the page. Okay, because it's not available yet, that's why I got error. Okay, now let's bring this down, guys. The form, let's bring it down. Go back to our code. Okay, guys, now let's bring this down. Let's bring it down. Go back to our code, and not a member. Okay, this. Okay. Let's go back to this is body. This is the first div. Okay, let's go under the first div. This one. Okay, this, and space down, and let's add few breaks. First, let's add it with P. Okay, and then okay, now I can add two break inside of it. Add a second one. Okay, now what I can do, I can just copy these two and paste inside of it. and you save everything and go back to our browser and refresh the page. Okay, now um, for the this is sign in form, email password, and so on. Now let's fix these two button. Go back to our code and let's go down. Let's go. Let's go down. Okay. Um, to fix it, guys, let try to figure out what's going on, because we got the sign in button, and then this line of uh, go back to our code. Let me see. Probably one div is not closer. Maybe let's see this form. Okay, I think let's go copy copy this one and paste it here to see what's going on. Now this fix and save everything. Refresh our browser. Okay, there we go. Now it's fixed. We need a little bit of space here. Sign up. We need space. Let's put this space here. Refresh again to see. All right, there you go. This is the space now. Okay, guys. Now I think we're done with our user login.php. Remember, I told you before, I want to keep this tutorial, this is the step-by-step tutorial, and I want to keep it not too long. And this is the end of this part. This is the end of part 2. Okay, and I wanna stop here. I want to stop here and see you in the next one for part 3. This is where I will be creating login user registration.php, and after that we will add everything, if try to finish everything. All right, guys, see you in the next one. See you in part 3. All right, thank you. Bye bye.